Drawing on the reMarkable Paper Pro is a good time, but it did take some getting used to, so stay put because I think I've got it figured out for you in this video. And why not stick this up on your 4K TV and sit back, relax and enjoy the vibes.
You see the yellow staining there?
Yes, the yellow staining is still a problem after an update.
So this is the latest colour e-ink. This is e-ink gallery free, and supposedly they've got the best out of it and the reMarkable, but this is why I'm going to test it out in detail for you. I'm going to draw this. I've got it up on the screen in front of me. I'm going to sit and draw this. I think I'm going to sit and draw this in landscape.
Although the flashing is jarring at first, you do get used to it as you work with the tablet. It's just the way this fantastic colour e-ink panel works.
I feel like reMarkable Paper Pro kind of wants to be held in landscape because of this big bezel on this side.
This was my first go at drawing on the reMarkable Paper Pro.
So this is Almond Blossom by Van Gogh. I need to select that to go into landscape, do I?
Yeah, there's no auto rotate here.
One thing about drawing on reMarkable has always been good is using the layers. So I'm going to start down here just with some grey pencil. Pencil tool has always been a favourite because you get this tilt. So you can change the stroke width really straightforward, really easily with the pencil. I don't feel like this new stylus is as good as the Wacom EMR stylus tech, but they've clearly decided on this for some reason. Perhaps they just couldn't get the gallery-free screen, which does have more vibrant colours than other colour e-ink. Perhaps they just couldn't get that gallery-free screen to perform as well with the Wacom EMR tech. But I would have loved to have seen them be able to stay with that Wacom pen because it is a little bit better than this one. This is fun, this is a good time. And I'm planning on popping this in the hands of some real artists and seeing what they make of it as well, so that would be interesting. I do think reMarkable has for some time been the choice for you if you need an e-ink tablet as an artist. One reason being you can actually export all this as SVG, which is cool. Okay, cool, that's a good start. It's not going to look exactly like the one there because I think I've got a bit too much spacing there, but now I'm going to use a new layer. I'm going to start to add the colour, which should be the thing. So I'm going to use now the shader tool. This is what I'm really excited to see, is this shader. I'm going to start with the cyan. So you only got access to primary colours the screen can make and the secondary colour the screen can make. And what you can do is you can layer them on. So I'm just going to put the blue background across. Oops.
And those diagonals look alright, don't they? It's only really the slower diagonals that you get that issue that I've talked about quite a lot, the wobble with this pen technology.
I don't know how distracting that is going to be. That, you know, it's kind of just leave it like that, that's okay. But this is a sort of preview and then it renders. I think in this case, certainly, just with the primary colours, just don't bother rendering again because that looks alright. I don't need this one to flash at this point. You see what the shader is doing is it's layering over. So where two strokes of cyan have gone over the top, I've got darker cyan. So what I want to do is I want to layer some ordinary blue. Oh, and I don't have an option for white in the shader. Well, that's It's no good at all, is it?
So if you've ever wondered why colour pencils have a white crayon, it's all about blending.
Oh, can you see that wobble in that corner? That must be where one of the magnets are. And I wonder how this is going to look when I finally lift my pen. It's going to look absolutely awful. This is what's going to be one of the issues, isn't it? Is whilst you're doing the strokes, you don't know what it's going to look like once it all renders through. That doesn't look too bad actually. That's all right. Cool. Okay, so now I can get my layer and I can bring my first layer up on top. So now let's pop the green on top of this on a new layer. Now this is my first testing as well. I've got the lights off at the minute, I'm going to turn the lights on, but the front light isn't very bright at all. It really is making hardly any difference at this point. Let's go ahead and layer these colours on. Certainly the first sort of base colour. Did I start any layer? Yes I did. This, by the way, this is how the highlighter used to work. I used to use the highlighter to build up tone. But obviously the highlighter in the first one was only black and white, and now this shader is building up colour. My question is, how is that going to look when I then layer that on top of that whole other layer? Okay, this is really good. This drawing on reMarkable is making a lot of sense. This is, yeah. I'm loving it. Okay, so let's bring in the other layer. Okay, I can see it. I'm starting to see something. I'm going to need much bolder colours on top, obviously. So I'm going to carry on the colour layer here. I'm going to start to shade in some of the more yellows, which some of these branches have. And now you can mix apparently up to 2,000 colours. So it'll take a little bit of mixing. And that yellow is one of them that is, yeah, that's nice. Again, though, you can't see what you're going to get until it's there. So this is just something you're going to have to get used to. It's like any new medium, you've got to learn the tool. This gallery though, you can, now I understand why it's called gallery. Because wow, for the artists, this is a great e-ink tablet. Wow. Yeah, loving it. I'm going to go ahead and put some of the darker blues in now. Kind of like watercolor. This is very nice. So this is using something called dithering, which means that it's sort of like adjacent pixels. The screen can only produce, well, they said 9 colors, which I suppose are the 3 primary colors, 3 secondary colors, there's the gray in the middle. 9 colors that the screen can natively produce. By adjacent pixels being different colors, you do end up with these blends, just like you're mixing pigment on the page. And that's where it's going to really appeal to people, is if you know what you're doing, which clearly I don't, then you can actually blend up those tones, those colors, and mix them to make whichever colors you might choose. So that's going to be my sort of starting background, first 3 layers. The blue is still pretty dark, and what I'd love to see them allow me is just, now I've got those layers, allow me just to run the opacity channels so I can actually reduce the opacity of the blue layer behind, for instance. So I say, well, that's a bit dark, I can just change that all entirely. Or why isn't there a white in the shader that I could then go over that with this? We also need a bit more of a wash, and I found the paintbrush tool, even on the thickest, isn't actually giving me a large enough coverage. But that's my next sort of stop really, is I'm going to go ahead and do some of these darker outlines now. You see, that's just not thick enough for me. I get thickness by tilting, do I? Okay, well, that's very nice. Yeah, that's very pleasant. Gosh, what would Vincent van Gogh have thought about this thing? Yeah, look, this for me, I'm an artist, I love this. I'm going to spend a lot of time taking this. I'm going to take this to art galleries soon. I'm going to go and draw outside with this. I'm going to be really enjoying this. If colour's not your thing, then maybe it's really not coming out at all there, is it? Okay, because I was so light, it's just the pressure sensitivity is giving me that range. That's nice. Just thinking, what does it, give you each time? It's an entirely new medium. This is, I've been drawing on e-ink for some time, but this is new, and it's going to take a lot of getting used to that. The range of pressure is sublime. If you like your notes to look beautiful, yeah, I can see this. I'm really liking the sort of range of tone you can get with the brush, with the pressure levels. Yeah. And this has done it for me. I've gone through it really today, testing this thing out for the first time, and now the drawing is really, yeah, this is where it's at for this. You can keep your iPad Pros now, I mean, blooming it. I mean, it's weird, I think it's different. There's a long way to go, and I hope that they haven't just sort of seen this as being done, that they can actually work with e-ink to work out the algorithm, the order in which that it does these colours, and when it needs to do the full refreshes and not. Yeah, that's fabulous. Oh, my favourite colour, full stop. So it really doesn't need to refresh at all with the white, because it's just pull the white up. I think that's it. The three colours are all one direction, so let's say they're positive. So it has to pull the three colours up separately, but the white, it can just pull up on its own. Unless, of course, it's doing black. If it's doing black, then it can pull up all three colours to make black in one go. That's why black writing can be incredibly low latency. When it's pulling up white, it's just pulling up white. So there's the three colours C, M, Y, cyan, magenta, and yellow. But the white is the opposite. So it can just pull all the white, but every colour that it's mixing, it has to actually do them in a set order based on how quickly they float from top to bottom.
The e-ink engineers must just wish that the universe had invented more polarities. It would have made their lives a whole lot easier. And just so you're aware, that colour mixing thing with the shader is quite difficult. I still haven't really got the hang of it.
Of course, for artists, you can also get the full SVG detail of this, so you can carry on and work these up in whatever your SVG editor, Illustrator, or whichever, and you can change the quality of all of these strokes. Not that you might maybe want to, because they look really nice, but they look nice here on the e-ink screen. Whether they look anything like this on an ordinary LCD, or even ordinary printed paper is another question.
I think it looks quite good actually, and I'm really looking forward to showing you more of what I'm doing with this e-ink tablet, especially around this theme of looking at colour and Van Gogh, because I'm getting more confident in using the bolder colours and that full-on paintbrush rather than the kind of watercolourish shader tool.
I would almost prefer, I think, rather than give me the shader, let me mix any colour here. Because clearly if the screen can give me 20,000 colours, it's a cool idea that you can use a shader, but we want to be able to put down one colour and choose it at a time. In the next update, let's really think about artists and how they're going to use that. And although the tool's pretty much there, please reMarkable, make sure that you're doing your very best just to give me exactly what we might want as an artist. Cool. Just going to add a few little strokes on top to give it the full range of tone. So I want to choose green, but I want to choose my tone for that green. And these sort of little blossoms just budding out all over the place, looks gorgeous. Alright, I get it. Next time I will pick something that is more of a autumn theme. I'm in the wrong season there, aren't I? Autumn tech launches like this one. Well, thank you very much for watching. Let's just zoom in and show you some of the qualities of those lines. Well, that's been a really good time. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
You know what? I'm really enjoying drawing on the reMarkable Paper Pro, and, well, looking at my timeline for this video, it's going to end up being about an hour long if I include everything I've just done to this point, so I think I'm going to split this into parts. And here's a little preview of what will be coming in the next couple of parts where I draw on reMarkable Paper Pro. I think I'll be taking it, sketching in a gallery pretty soon as well, so stay tuned for that. It's just those amazing gallery-free e-ink colours and the incredible screen feel with the marker. I think I might be a bit addicted, really.